there, YouTubers. It's your old pal Spidey here with another viewer email for you. This one comes from, let's see what it is. Comes from Yami Ace. Let me just print it out right here. They say, "Hey, I just saw your review of DBE and just wondering, what do you think is worse, DBE or DBGT? And what do you think of the new Dragon Ball Kai, the Z remake that is in HD and sticking closer to the original manga? Also, what Spider-Man movie do you like best? And how do you think they compare to the old Spider-Man stuff? Peace out, Andy." Well, Andy, I actually can't really compare Dragon Ball Evolution to Dragon Ball GT, because Dragon Ball GT is a show and Dragon Ball Evolution sucks. I like any Dragon Ball cartoon. I've always liked it ever since I was a kid. My first episode I saw was when Goku had to save that princess from Oolong. That was funny. I thought it was funny how he was caught when he was pissing, and I just thought that was pretty neat. I never heard about this Dragon Ball Kai, so I did some research, went on to YouTube looking it up, and they, of course, they're saying a redub, HD, basically like if they, remastered old movies, like Steven Spielberg and stuff like that. I kind of like that idea. I think it's time that they needed to clean it up, but also, I kind of like that old anime look. It takes me back to the days of when I was a kid, watching Voltron, watching Silverhawks and Thundercats and Transformers and stuff. And Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball were around that time where I thought that was really cool, and just how they looked. And I always like to watch it, and I wish I could have like a bowl of Captain Crunch, right there, and while I'm watching the show, although it does cut the roof of my mouth sometimes. And my favorite Spider-Man movie, I like a little bit of all of them, because half the time they get it right and half the time they screw it up. In the Spider-Man 1, I liked how they did the bridge scene where he has to choose to save her, although they change it up a bit. And that whole storyline, in Spider-Man 1, they take the storyline near the end of the movie from the Gwen Stacy death sequence. Instead, it's not Mary Jane, it's Gwen Stacy, and in the book, well, they made it into a book now, but in the comics, Spider-Man supposedly accidentally kills Gwen Stacy, or she was dead beforehand. I like to think that Spider-Man accidentally killed her with the whiplash. That's why he has to jump down and save them, and then make his web. And in Spider-Man 2, I liked the Doc Ock thing. I didn't like how they made him a little bit more human, because in the comics, Doc Ock was just by himself as a nuclear physicist, and then one of his experiments goes wrong, and so he blames it on Spider-Man. And in Spider-Man 3, I liked the whole Venom sequence. I thought that was really cool. I didn't like how Gwen Stacy appeared so damn late in the movie, in the series, and I didn't like how Eddie Brock was so damn small. And I didn't really like what they did to make, Peter Parker all emo and shit. Really, in the comics during that time, he was kind of an asshole instead of an emo guy. But that's just my opinion. And how do I think it compares to the old Spider-Man stuff? Well, what do you mean by old Spider-Man stuff? Do you mean by movies or by comics? Because, see, by comic standards, those movies are taking off their stories from old Silver Age stuff. But I did see an old Spider-Man movie from the 70s, and in that one, he actually makes his own webs, but they're rope. They look like rope. But for the time, I guess it would have been good graphics. But compared to that movie, the new ones are much better, way better. And also, I'd like to say that this episode is brought to you by our sponsors.
Whippy Dick tastes sweeter than the real thing.
So, thank you, Andy, for your response. And anybody out there who wants me to read an email and answer it, I'll do that for you. And it's been your friendly Ninja Spider-Man saying good day and Excelsior!
Fling us a web, you're the Spider-Man. Sling us a web tonight, 'cause we're all in the mood for a hero now, and there's evil doers to fight.